Hey YouTube, Mini Flies back here. And I'm with my good friend Super as well. We're going to teach you guys about another thing, about the land. Okay? We're going to be discussing all kinds of territories and land. Right here, we're going to start off with the Great Plains. Okay? This right here is, we're going to go east to west, then we're going to head south to Mexico, then we're going to go west to east. Okay? So overall, we're going to start, go ahead and hit the map. We're going to start right here in Blackwater, okay? Biggest city in the game. We're going to head west, try to do all this, and our last stop is probably going to be right about here, maybe over here, wherever we kind of decide to stop. Then we're going to go all the way down here, and there's going to be our next stop. Then we're going to travel all the way east, then our last stop is going to be right here, Butter Bridge. Okay. Since Mexico has lesser territories, we're going to consider territories that are on the border. We're going to consider them Mexican territories because they have less. Okay, so let's start off first right here in Blackwater. Okay, this right here is considered the Yankee capital of Red Dead Redemption. Actually, real quick before I start the Blackwater thing, I want to go ahead and talk to you about the map. There's two main stories I've heard about this, and they both give good conclusion to why they are what they are. Supposedly, this right over here is New Austin, okay? This is the big county over here that's American, okay? This big one over here, okay, if you look on the map, it talks all this, okay? All this right here, West Elizabeth. This is supposed to be like Arkansas. Another rumor I've heard is this is all supposed to be one big America. It's kind of shortened down into a little kind of game. This right here is supposed to be Washington, D.C. Now, I'll kind of explain why. If you go over here, you'll notice that big building over there, okay? Now, it doesn't really look a lot like the White House or, you know, like the Capitol building, but it kind of half-assed does, if you get what I mean. When you look at it. This right here is supposed to be like Washington, D.C., okay? And maybe it might be kind of almost like a smaller United States, but also in Texas, so it might be kind of like a mix of stories. But anyways, right here, Blackwater, okay? This right here is supposed to be like Washington, D.C. Thieves Landing is supposed to be represent the South, okay? Actually, Thieves Landing is my favorite town, but then there's like Manzanita Post. They're supposed to kind of represent like the Appalachian Mountains over here. Over here by Coachella, those little mountains up there are supposed to be like the Appalachians. Okay, and then you continue west, keep on going. Cholla Springs, I've heard that's supposed to be kind of like a Montana area. You get what I mean? Hinstead is supposed to be like Texas, Oklahoma, and a little bit of Kansas all mixed together. I guess McFarland's Ranch is supposed to be kind of the meeting of Texas and Oklahoma, and then I guess all the way up to like right here is supposed to be like, you know, Oklahoma territory, and all the way up here I guess it's supposed to be somewhat like Kansas. But then Armadillo, that's supposed to be more out west. That's supposed to be like Montana and stuff like that. Rio Bravo, that's supposed to be somewhat like what's the town of Blackwater, okay? This right here is Blackwater, okay? And this town is supposed to be, like I said, kind of like the Yankee capital of the entire game. It's kind of a copy of Washington, D.C. I've read on the Red Dead Redemption Wikipedia that this is supposed to be more the kind of modern age technology. It's supposed to be like the new advance of the East. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be the idea of the East to come here and try to civilize this savage world of the West. This is kind of like what the heart of Blackwater is, kind of like what's the basis behind it. As you can see, on the southern side of town, you have things that aren't as much important. You have buildings that hasn't been made yet. You have kind of, you know, things that aren't as useful. You have buildings that aren't as useful, and lower budget things. However, when you get to the northern side of town, you have more richer people kind of things. As you can see, a theater. Now, this is the best theater in the entire game. The hotel. Nice hotel. You have the nicer big buildings, the police station, the bank, and the big house. I'm not really sure what that is. So, like I said, the more northern you get, the more better things they have. The interesting thing about this, though, is, look, Morning Star. Morning Star, does that kick back any memories, Tonks? This right here was the name of the boat used in Gun. It was called the Morning Star. I guess that might be like an interesting, or like they'd call it a similar name. But I guess let's go ahead and get over here. Blackwater. You have lots of weird cops. I don't really like the way they look. They look a lot like British cops to me. Whenever I see them, I think of Britain, you know. Probably not. Super just texted me and told me he might think the big building of it might be the governor's house. I don't really think it is, but it's possible. Okay, if you look, there's lots of black water here. I haven't really seen East Coast. I live in Texas. I haven't seen East Coast, but what I've heard, it's supposed to be not very good looking, kind of like this, kind of sickly looking water-ish. However, if you head out west near, over by the, what would you call it, over by Mexico and stuff, over by there, over by Scratching Post, you actually reach, the water looks a little bit healthier. Now, I'm not going to say it is or isn't like California beaches. I haven't ever been to California. Actually, that's a lie, I have, but that was like a very, very long time ago. I was like 3 years old. But supposedly has very, very nice waters. This right here, as you can see, is thickly looking water. Definitely nothing good really about it. And if you notice over there, there's supposed to be, you can almost, no, those are just trees. Those are not buildings. But if you notice over there, I think that, if this is all supposed to be one big America, I think that over there is supposed to kind of represent like Europe. If you look over there and you look on the map, you can actually see past this lake right here, there's more territory over there. And I think that's supposed to kind of represent like Europe and stuff. As you can see, this is supposed to be the big lake. Okay? And like I said, including if this is all supposed to be one big America, that would make it understandable and why an Undead Nightmare, why you never get any help from anybody from other existing parts of the U.S. That would make sense because it's supposed to represent all of the U.S. You know, that would make sense why you don't ever get any help from other places of the, you know, states. You don't ever get any help from any other states in the U.S. The military doesn't ever come in, it makes sense. But this right here is supposed to represent, you know, I guess like the European countries, the docks and stuff from the European countries. It's on the southern side of town. Over here, this is where all the farms were, and the southern side of, you know, kind of like Washington D.C. is almost near Virginia, I think. And if you go a little bit south of that, you'll find farms and stuff. You'll find corn farms, cotton farms, stuff like that. You know, farms over here. So let's get over here on the west side. So over here is the train side of town. Okay, this is supposed to represent the trains coming in. Okay, this town has a mutual meeting in between the waters and the trains. Okay, as you can see, there's also crates and stuff here. It's supposed to be a mutual meeting, or maybe stuff comes in from the east side, they move it over here, and then they extend it out west. As pretty much for that, it's a nice town. Like I said, I'm not a big city person, but if you're gonna come and kill somebody, this is definitely a more, what do you call it, better place to come kill people. There's a lot of people at over here. So, this right here, I rank in city-wise, probably one of the better cities, but not really my favorite. But overall, a lot of people will probably like this, so it's, you know. The interesting thing about this one is the high power issue, and so is the semi-automatic bolt. High power pistol right here, you can see, and the semi-automatic like this right here. Which you find the semi-automatic a little bit more, so you might take a few cops to kill you, and the cops are usually a bit stronger as well. Here's the high power. I have mine gold. Be aware that theirs is not gold unless you get it gold. Which we actually might make another video on that about how to get the gun gold, which most people should know, but still wouldn't hurt. I guess let's go ahead and head out west. Head west over next place. This isn't many places where Blackwater took a place. So that's supposed to kind of represent like Canada. You notice there's a lot of people that don't have guns. You notice in other territories, almost everybody has guns. just in Blackwater is where people don't have guns. I think it's supposed to represent that people think they're safe over there. People think that they don't need guns because they're safe. Right here is Broken Street. I'm not really sure what the story behind this place is. But as you can see, it's a broken street right here. Right down the middle, right over here. There's pigs here. It's the only hunting ground in West Elizabeth. That's really about it. There's nothing really interesting about it. Nothing really, what we call good, bad. It is there, kind of. So, I guess let's go ahead and head over to the next place, Future's Hope. Oh yeah, Super thinks lightning hit it. Super thinks the lightning hit it. Yeah, let's go to the next place. This is the only farm in the game, and one of our favorite locations. Right here, Beecher's Hope. Here's our next place. I like how there's a big fence around, you know what, there's lots of land, you know what I mean? Lots and lots of land. This right here is the farm that John Marston lives on. It's called Beecher's Hope. I'm not really sure why they named it that, though. Because, as far as I can tell, nobody named Beecher ever lived here. I don't think John Marston ever purchased it from a guy named Beecher or Hope, either one. And so I'm not really sure where the name Beecher's Hope comes from. If anything, I think it would be called Marston Ranch or Marston Farm, which actually I think this is more like a ranch. Farms have plants, ranches have, nope, maybe not. Okay, but, so this is where you, your grave, Tonks, you would know where the grave is. I think it's somewhere up here, correct, Tonks? I think you know where the grave is better than I do. You know where it is, because I think it's a video not too long ago. Super, you know where the grave is? Okay, oh hey, is this it right here? Because look, there's actually like a black spot. There's two black spots right here. There's two black spots and almost like a third one kind of right here. Two black spots and almost a third one. This right here is where Abigail, John, and Uncle all die. I mean, where they're buried, not died. Where they are buried. Whenever you become Jack, whenever you get to play as Jack, you look at their graves. You can also read them. They have crosses and they say things on them. And you can come back and visit them whenever you want. They don't ever go away. So, you know. Also up here, there's also a thing where Tonks actually made a video about it. If you do the good things, then this guy will kind of reward you. He's supposed to kind of be God, which whenever I first played this game, I didn't know who he was, so I pushed him off the cliff and killed him. So, yeah, he's supposed to be God, and if you do the good things for him, he'll reward you right here, telling you kind of good things. But if you do the bad things, he talks about how you're a bad person, and then you get pissed off at him because the entire time he's kind of egging you on. So you get kind of pissed off. You pull out your gun and shoot him at him 3 times, and then your last shot, your 4th shot misfires. Now I think that that's supposed to represent 1 shot for Uncle, 1 shot for John, and 1 shot for Abigail, and it jams on Jack. So if you play like that side of the story, it kind of gives